All right. This says that we're on. Okay. All right. Gentlemen, good afternoon. And it is my pleasure to have this opportunity to interview both of you distinguished alumni. This is a part of living history, so I'm really, really excited about this. Now, gentlemen, the way we're going to do this, we're going to, interview both of you at the same time. Mm-hmm. So, we can weave in and out, but just to make sure that we can get a voice identification with your name, I will begin with Dr. Lowrie. Dr. Lowrie?
Yes.
Good. How do you like us to refer to you? Dr. Lowrie, Charlie?
I'm very flexible, so anything you feel comfortable with, I'll go with.
Well, I like to be called Cav.
Okay.
So.
And just call me Charles.
Okay, Charles. Okay. And Keith and I go way, way back now for about 2.5 years now, so thereabout.
You can call me Mr. Bodden.
Okay, I'll call you Mr. Bodden.
Just kidding, Keith. Just kidding, Keith. Keith,
okay. Charles, what is your class year?
1961.
61, okay. And your current occupation?
Veterinarian, neurologist, retired faculty at Michigan State University.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Okay, Keith, same question. Your class year and your current occupation?
1960, retired environmental scientist. However, I work for the Internal Revenue Service in Parsippany, New Jersey, as a consultant.
Okay, good. All right. And Keith, when and where were you born?
I was born in Kingston, Jamaica, British West Indies, January 9th, 1938.
Okay. And Charles, same question. When and where?
I was born in Miami, Florida, 1937, in a hospital that was called Christian Hospital. That was a hospital that was a product of segregation at the time, put together by black physicians. My father was one of the founding physicians, and it was a nice hospital for the community at that point.
So it was the colored hospital.
It was a colored hospital.
It was the colored hospital. Yeah. Now, our next question may seem somewhat redundant, but sometimes people don't grow up in places where they were born. So, Keith, did you grow up there?
My first 6 years were spent in Kingston, Jamaica, with my parents, Leonie Bodden and Rosindell Bodden. That's Rosingdell Bodden. My father, Rosindell, was one of the first West Indians to be commissioned in the British Navy during World War II. My mother's maiden name is McLaughlin, and they're both from the Cayman Islands. My father passed 2 years ago, 2001, and my mother is still with us. We're getting ready to celebrate her 100th birthday in 2007. After Kingston, Jamaica, after World War II, my father received his citizenship since he was a British naval officer, and we came to the United States under a program that was under Harry Truman, it was a special executive order under President Roosevelt for any foreign allied individuals that were in World War II. When Roosevelt passed away, Truman took it over, and my father received a letter back in 1946, and with that letter, we headed for the United States. We didn't come by boat. We came by plane into Miami in April of 1947, and we took a Greyhound bus after an overnight stay in Miami, up to Tampa, Florida, where my father had some contacts, and we stayed until 1949. Then we went to Brooklyn, and I spent my teenage years in Brooklyn, New York.
Now, Charles, by actual name, what was the name of your grade school and your high school?
Oh, grade school, I had two grade schools. I started off in Douglas Elementary School in Miami, Florida. And then I went to, I think I was there the first and second grade in Douglas. And then I finished grade school at Dunbar Elementary School in Miami, Florida. High school I attended was Booker T. Washington High School, which is a traditional high school for many black communities. But I didn't finish there. I left after my sophomore year, after my 10th grade year, to attend Pennsylvania Military Prep School, which I finished in 1956.
And Keith?
I started my grade school in the English system in Kingston, Jamaica. I attended private school. Then the interesting thing that Miss Langley, who was my first teacher, was also the teacher for my father back in the 1920s. And Miss Langley was a very strict disciplinarian. My father remembers, and I remembered. Then when I came to the United States, my first grade school that I attended was the Gary High School in Tampa, Florida. Pardon me, Gary Grade School in Tampa, Florida. And I might note that it wasn't until the early 1960s when I heard through my mother that they'd finally integrated. But when I went there, it was an all-white school. I guess our light skin, and we didn't know any better, and that's where we went. When we went to Brooklyn, I attended the public schools of Brooklyn, Public School 241, I remember, in Flatbush, Public School 9 in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Public School 278 in Bedford-Stuyvesant, and I went to Boys High School, spent 4 years there, and graduated in 1956. Then on to PMC in the fall of 1956. At Boys High School, I was captain of the soccer team in my senior year. We had winning seasons in both years, and I might add that Tommy Davis, who played for the Los Angeles Dodgers back in the 70s, was one of my classmates. And also the person that has the longest managerial record in the National Basketball Association, I can't think of his name right now, but he was one of my classmates. I'm definitely going to get his name. But the thing that was about Boys High, you had to take the Regents exams. And we started to take Regents in our sophomore year. And when I started to put my college applications in, we had no problems. I was interviewed by Cornell, NYU, and PMC, and that gives you some idea the prestige that was around Boys High at that time. I might add that at Boys High, I'm in the Scholastic and the Athletic Hall of Fame. Boys High today is now Boys and Girls High.